C9 probably have better chance than like a lot of LCK teams, because when I watch there, they don't know how to make like, you know, certain things like better smite or like craft fights, how important it is and stuff like that sometimes when I'm watching them. And Cloud9 is definitely the first person or first team to do it. You know, that's what I mean by like over technology, where because like it is just not fair when your
That's
jungler
actually
is like
primitive technology. Blaber was on the crab before everyone
yeah.
else.
Yeah, yeah.
Like he's actually he
Yeah.
was there at the very beginning.
Welcome everybody to this episode of Pros. I've got Huhi, Dhokla, Vulcan with me. What's up, guys? It's a lot of 3-0s this week, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, well, what's up?
Right.
Oh, what are you looking at?
I don't know. I guess my first question, coming out of it is, I'll ask you immediately because you've had 2 series in which this happened. Where do you think it's coming from? Just like the quick series from across the board.
I mean, I think TL and LYON were somehow in the lower bracket, even though I'd consider them like top 3 along with us. Somehow DSG and Sentinels managed to like sneak in to the upper bracket. Because I expect, that once we get to finals and either LYON or TL, whichever one win that series, I think they should be, Sentinel should be the underdog going into it, obviously. So I think both the LYON TL series and the one after that, the finals, should be a lot closer. So I think just because of how regular season went, that's the reason we're seeing quick series.
Yeah, because like, of course, there's going to be a combination of like format discussions, but I do think LYON, Team Liquid, like those teams definitely had some rough moments in the regular season themselves. And like, Huhi, I'll go to you because you guys had the actual smooth uprising where at the beginning, week 1, it was tough. But then over time, you guys found like gradual improvement to get to the position that you guys are. And then how do you feel, because like immediately coming after this series, the improvement that you guys had, but then going into the series versus C9?
I mean, I think in the beginning, like we really sucked. Like I felt like we basically weren't a team. Like everyone was kind of just playing solo queue. That's what happens when we don't practice, like a month before LCS starts. And I feel like because of visa issues, everyone had visa issues this year, but 2 of our Koreans also came 2 weeks before, and like I think I've mentioned in different podcasts or something, like I think Sentinels podcast, where like Hambak actually never screamed like for a straight year, more than a year. So I think that does play a big factor, especially when it's a new team. We're trying to get to know each other. I don't even know his play style, and he's just kind of playing solo queue, and that's why it took some time to kind of learn the meta and kind of get on the same page. And I think after we started screaming, it just naturally got better and better. Yeah.
I feel like throughout the series, and Dhokla, you joined us for the beginning of the day, to like kind of like analyze the series itself. We can probably start with it. There was like, yes, it was a 3-0, but there was like a little bit of drama. Especially, actually, I want to hear the insider about the Vayne pick. And people were like, ended up going through the rule book, trying to get it right. At first, it felt like the decision was like, oh, you guys are gonna have to play the Vayne pick, and it's gonna go to one of those roles. And then actually, it was like, no, because C9 didn't end up locking a pick in, that didn't happen. So you were in the comms when it happened. What's your perspective of it?
I mean, I think my perspective of it is just Rahul made a mistake. He even admitted like he made the mistakes, and I think what I was trying to do is like it is what it is. Like there's nothing we can control anymore, and we just gotta stay mentally strong. I kind of saw Rahul kind of like being really like sorry, like he feels really bad.
Yeah.
And I think luckily like C9 are like, thank God you guys let us kind of, I don't know, remade or like the right, like looked at the rule book again. But for us, like I kind of joked how for us it's always happening, like the Guardian Aatrox and now to this Vayne pick. We are the issue, like in that sense. So it is what it is, but it's something that we definitely gotta focus up more even in Champ Select, and we gotta fix that. And we were just thankful that we got to remake.
Focus on clicking our buttons.
Yeah, I mean, someone did mention, I won't say who, but someone said like if we lock in a champ right now, because we knew it was a mistake, it was like within 1 second of your guys' turn to pick,
Yeah.
Vayne was like insta locked, and we're like, well, they already have Lucian, and no one is blind picking Vayne top
Yeah.
or picking
Yeah.
Vayne mid into Zig, so we knew it was a mistake.
Yeah.
And then someone said like, if we want, we can lock something in, and it like it jails them to play Vayne. But we were like, no, let's not do that. Like it's already 2-0. If it was a finals, maybe we'd consider it.
Yeah.
Like if it was like for everything, right?
Yeah.
But in that moment, we're like, whatever. And then they started like investigating the issue and everything, and we were just like telling the ref, not that it has any impact, because I don't think they care what the opposing team says or wants. But we were like, can we just get to the place where like they get to redo draft? Like we don't want to play this game.
Yeah.
It was a mistake. Can we just get there already? Because like it was like a long back and forth, and
Yeah.
we redid the champ select because we were gonna go into the game with Vayne being locked in, but then they looked further, investigated more, and
again.
we dropped it
I
again.
feel like they just need a good faith rule, because like imagine if this happened at like Game 5 World Finals, like everything on the line,
Yeah.
and then some bug or like a mistake happens like this. Like you're not gonna want to ruin the moment. Be like, oh, on a technicality, we have to do this. I just like in a good faith rule, just like obviously you made a mistake, just let's just fix the situation, move on.
Yeah.
I think
And it's not like us seeing Vayne locked in gives us any kind of disadvantage. Like it's not like someone could abuse it. So
yeah,
I think
exactly.
it would be,
Just
it would be
I
good
feel
to
like
have that
just
kind
add
of-
a good faith rule in the rule book, and then maybe
Yeah.
just I don't even know,
Make it
I don't even know how
easier.
you're
I
bouncing
mean,
on Vayne. That's like the real thing.
Yeah, I don't know. I didn't ask.
Yeah,
Like he
yeah.
was already like kind of like annoyed about it.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
he
I mean,
made he
yeah.
knew that he made the
Well,
mistakes.
at least
so-
you guys weren't jailed, so
Yeah.
that's nice.
Thank
It's a
God.
dub. Dhokla, you're with us for the day. Just your thoughts on the series overall from the perspective of, being in the lounge.
Yeah, I mean, I think C9 just looked solid. I think every lane just played well, and I feel like Game 1 was the closest, but even that, it's like they had a lead, but you guys just weren't able to convert. Like Rise was bought, pushed in
Yeah.
on the third dragon, and then Humbug just walked in, and you guys
Yeah.
just died. And after that, it's like the comp just kind of fell apart. So yeah, it just looked rough, honestly.
sure.
Yeah.
And so for Vulcan, I guess we can go straight into it because he kind of alluded to just C9 being dominant, but that's just for it felt like the entire split. You guys are 12-1 in game score. A lot of it has been kind of credit to, I guess you guys have started literally in December and had a lot of, and on top of that, you didn't make too many changes. You got APA in, Damin came in as assistant coach. What have you felt that is different now going into playoffs than, let's say, last year, because you've been with them for a bit, that is making you guys so strong?
I think we're more aware maybe of our strengths and weaknesses. I think Loki as a player wasn't a very vocal person in the room whenever we were doing draft meeting or like talking about what we want to play, what kind of champions, what kind of style. He didn't really share his take, or if you asked it out of him, one time it would be that way and the other time it might have, he maybe flipped. So it was hard to get like a consistent read on what he wants. He was a really good player.
Of course.
But Ian, APA on the other side, he's like much more vocal about his strengths, his weaknesses, how he wants to play and stuff like that. So it helps us a lot because any kind of direction from anyone is always very helpful. So yeah, I think we're, I guess, we have a clearer direction, how we want to play and stuff like that. So it just helps in general.
I think you did an interview earlier on in the week or last week where you talked about the comms difference specifically with APA. Even today, while we were going through one of the team fights around Derailed, and it was APA's Talia. Like it was a winning fight. Talia ultis. Yes, he made a mistake, gets caught by Renekton, but like we listen to the comms and it's still very focused. Not like most of the time you'll say, "Oh, I fucked up. Sorry about that." No, but he's very loud. That's like a sneak peek to those comms that I haven't heard from before. What do you think or feel like he has added to the team that you guys haven't had on top of that? What you've said.
Yeah, I mean, he has a good go button whenever he's like, he sees the fight being very winning. He's like, there's the one kind of famous clip, I guess, where he goes like, "I'm going forward no matter what. I'm going forward no matter what. I'm going forward no matter what." And he just like clicks in 1v5.
Yeah.
Where it's always good to have someone recognize a situation and act on it, and it's very easy to follow that kind of thing. So yeah, I'm in my ideal world, all 5 players are able and willing to do that kind of thing. So it helps that our millionaire is doing it on stage. So
I'm gonna ask the two of you guys because I wonder. Last year was just like FlyQuest dominance, and I think the community and myself kind of played into that as like there's no other competition. But hearing from the same kind of narrative, it's the beginning of the year. Do you guys think that C9 is just as far ahead as like let's say as a FlyQuest last year? I'll ask you, Dhokla. I'm looking at you.
No, I don't think so. I mean, honestly, FlyQuest was pretty close. Like spring, wasn't it a game 5 you guys went to, and you guys
Yes.
probably should have won that game. So like it was actually
Game
really
4 too,
close.
we kind of we had like a quarter kill early game in that game 4 because we were up 2-1
Yeah.
in the final. So
yeah, I mean, I thought it was like far closer than than
people
like,
thought
it was
it.
than people thought it was. So no, this year I think it's closer. I mean, obviously we're in the lower bracket, but I feel like we can contest all the teams remaining. So I feel like personally it's close, but yeah. What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, I think for now, I definitely do think C9 is the strongest team. They're the most connected, and they read the meta the fastest.
Mhm.
You know, like they knew what this meta was exactly about, and I think they started learning about it first. So I think every other team is kind of catching up, and I think in that sense, I agree with Dhokla that it's not gonna be like that dominant in the end, whether the meta shifts or once, because it's pretty apparent what I feel like Cloud9 is doing, and it's pretty easy for other teams to kind of catch up in that sense. It's really hard to learn or recognize what the meta is, but to catch up from other teams, it's you just have to watch the VODs and kind of understands the game. And I hope that we're pro players for a reason and can catch that, you know.
Yeah.
So as long as like we learn those kind of small details, I definitely do think that this season will be, this year in general will be closer.
You said it at the beginning, before the series, beginning of the day, kind of talking about how you felt as though like Cloud9 were more like scientists and you guys are more like punchers, fighters. But you guys wanted to kind of like inch towards that. What do you feel about? You can make the comparison and kind of elaborate more on that.
I mean, yeah, basically it's like similar thing to what I just said, like about the meta. So basically, they have like over technology compared to us. You know, right now, they know they have more
They
details.
went to Korea, it's pretty much Wakanda,
Korean
New Age
technology.
Wakanda, and they just found the new. Yeah, they found vibranium over
for
there. Or
sure.
what?
I mean, like for me, I think even compared to LCK, like when I watch LCK, like I feel like C9 probably have better chance than like a lot of LCK teams, because when I watch there, they don't know how to make like, you know, certain things like better smite or like crowd fights, how important it is and stuff like that sometimes when I'm watching them. And Cloud9 is definitely the first person or first team to do it. You know, that's what I mean by like over technology, where because like it is just not fair when your
That's
jungler
actually
is like
primitive technology. Blaber was on the crab before everyone
years
else.
ago.
Yeah.
Like he's actually he
Yeah.
was there at the very beginning. So now it's just even more important. He's like, wait, I've been great at this the whole
I've been
time.
on this.
Yeah. Yeah.
So basically, like, it's just like we just made a joke as a team that like, you know, they were kind of fighting with a gun and we're like using our fist, but we're trying to make our weapon too. Like we're trying to get
Right.
to the bow.
Yes.
But definitely Cloud9 right now has
We're
the
in the
most,
Bronze Age.
yeah,
Okay.
the most detail oriented, like really small things that people won't really catch if you're like a casual users. But right now, I think they're most connected and the most detailed.
Where do you feel like there's a change in the process in which you guys are doing it, or is it the same thing? Is it the addition of coaching staff? Because it feels like there's a lot of credit being given to your guys' overall macro. Where do you get like what is happening in that process for you guys?
No, I mean, I think Huhi kind of touched on it about the whole crab thing. Is like Blaber is very vocal about what he needs in a game or like what he wants to happen, and having that kind of player shape, I guess, the way we play the early game is very helpful. And he's always super confident when he calls like in that kind of situation. He knows exactly what he wants to do and how we should play it. So we're kind of just aligning with that and going with it. So I think the credit goes to Blaber, honestly. He kind of, I mean, I don't know how much Dom helped him because he's obviously much more focused on Blaber than anyone else, even though he's like a proper assistant coach and he'll oversee everything.
Of course.
He helps Blaber more. So I don't know, maybe some of the credit goes to him about, you know, how they figured out how we need to play for early crabs and having the better smite and things like that.
Yeah.
So yeah, the junglers are probably, you know, taking the credit for that one.
Yeah.
Both the junglers.
Makes sense. Makes sense. Let's talk about. There is something in the water because also in the LEC they have like G2 and MCOY 6 and 7 seed. Like feels like if you are a lower seeded team, there's a lot happening there. But for you, Dhokla, you at the beginning of the split, there's obviously like maybe not on the same page the team. What was the major change for you guys to be able to turn it around?
We
Especially
were not on the
versus
same page. I was playing like shit. I think those are two big factors. And then, yeah, I mean, in our DSG series, like, we had good conditions. We just completely messed it up. So, yeah, the 2-week break, just practice a lot and make sure we're all going to fight to the death for the scrab because it's the only thing that matters in this video game.
Yeah.
And, yeah, now coming out of it, we just all know what the goal is. So, yeah, we're just more time together is going to help. So I think that's all it took, at least for these last 2 weeks, to beat FlyQuests. And we're still going to have to get a lot better to, beat C9 in the end. But yeah, we're on the right path.
That's fair. And I think I am interested in kind of that discussion because I felt like you guys really well prepared for FlyQuest. The same goes for you guys, but I want to kind of bring it to the table what the general thought on FlyQuest is as a team, because they looked really good at the beginning of the split. But then, of course, due to the format and also like you guys picked them, so you guys faced each other like 2 times in a row, 2 series in a row, and then in the lower bracket, you guys are going up against the Lion Sharks. So it's like, where would you place them amongst the league? But do you guys, yeah, where would you place them?
I mean, it's hard to put them very high after the last 2 weekends.
Yeah.
I think for them, it's just they have rookie players in 2 very important roles in like support and jungle. And I think people kind of figured out how to take advantage of them in draft a little bit. So they're maybe just a bit downloaded, and they need to either like get better at normal games or expand on their like not cheesy picks, but they have like a specific style that they like to play where their support is like pretty good at Karma and he enjoys playing it. He plays aggressive in lane, so if he gets that, he's happy. And then maybe Griffin gets like a Gwen game. He tried to play it against LYON and super well for him, but maybe against some of the different junglers it would work better. Not sure. But I feel like they're maybe a little bit downloaded, and they're one of the team that has the most chance of getting better, right? Having so many rookies. They should at least have the most.
You can only go
potential.
up, right?
Yeah, so
in theory.
We'll see. This is only the first split. It was super quick, so I think they have good individual players, but they're not a very good team. That's how I read them.
Dhokla, would you say the same because you just are coming off fresh from the prep, having faced them?
I mean, yeah. I mean, they're just rookies. I think that individually they're fine. It's just, yeah, if they fall behind, they don't really know how to either stall the game out or like what is their comeback play, because they just kept going for plays that like are so obvious, and they just lose more and more and more, and then the game's just over like really fast. So just need to learn from these mistakes that they're making, and yeah, I think they can be good.
You haven't been able to face them, huh? Or my memory bad?
Yeah, FlyQuest. Yeah, we only scrimmed them. Not on stage.
Based on the scrims, is there like a difference from what you're seeing that's hitting? Because a lot of the younger teams, a lot of the times, will have probably more aggressive scrims.
Yeah, I think the major difference is that in the beginning they looked good on stage because every other team was kind of bad, and as teams are kind of getting more stable and kind of learning how to be a team and meta, FlyQuest is just naturally looking worse because I feel like they kind of play similar, like what Vulcan was saying. Like they have young players that plays pretty well, like individually, but in the end, it's a team game, and I feel like they don't really understand how to, play from behind.
Let's go to the other 3-0 that ended up happening. Neither representatives are here, so you guys can talk freely. It's Team Liquid versus DSG. So for that one, I'm interested in the TL perspective because they were a team that either people thought were the best team in the league or the second best, but had a really rough start. Even just the last tiebreaker to get into playoffs versus Dignitas.
Yeah, I thought they were gonna lose that game. Holy shit! Like it was actually, and I was wondering, like, there's just so much stress probably on them, just given the expectations, and they're playing a tiebreaker, and they were actually low-key losing it. They probably should have lost.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
I can't believe
we were all hate watching that day. I think everyone at this table.
Yeah.
We're all hoping for big season.
Yeah, I mean that shit was insane. I mean, forget about that. It's just the stress that they must be going through. And dude, the craziest thing is, what LYON was typing in that game in all chat. Like,
was he typing?
Yeah. I think FBI started it, but regardless, I would never type in a game that's tiebreak and you're like kind of losing.
Yeah.
Everything on the line. That's crazy.
It was like after I think Dig had hinted at earlier on, and then he typed a question mark. There was like stuff.
And
like
then
that.
in that series, or in the second series, I think against DSG, game 3, where they were like absolutely stomping ball in, and then the game somehow became close.
Yeah.
I mean, they did end up winning, but Yeah, that was like how could you throw a game like that? I mean, obviously they probably feel the same way themselves, but that was not a good look.
Where do you think it's coming from? Because it reminds me of when I was watching the Kespa Cup with you guys and Team Liquid, and Team Liquid also had like a major loss or like throw. It was like a 8K throw there. So I was like, oh, hopefully this is not a trend. But like, um, what do you think is happening? But also like, what's your take on Team Liquid now?
Yeah, I mean, for the DSG series, I think DSG is one of the worst bot lanes in the league, maybe. Not that they're like that terrible, but just I feel like the bot lane level is pretty high this year. And TL I would probably rate as being the best in lane. So it's like a pretty big mismatch there. So hard to win the game when your bot lane is, just losing outright no matter what. It's not very playable. So that's why it was such a stomp, I think. And then I don't know why they throw so much. I think they just like maxed out their early game stats in like in the RPG game, like they just maxed out their early game and then didn't put any in the like late game or like game sense later on.
Yeah,
that's what it feels like. So I hope they don't level up and get more points for the finals or your guys' match. But yeah, that's how I see it.
Because Huhi, it was in the same series where Impact like got the Guardian Aatrox, and I was like, oh, this might be doomed. It was not. Your read on Team Liquid, because that one, it felt like they had made a lot of mistakes, but you guys looked incredibly strong in that time.
Yeah, I mean, Team Liquid kind of, I think Vulcan said it like how I wanted to say it. Like they just don't know how to play the game if their bot lane doesn't win like early, in my opinion. In scrims, sometimes I'm just surprised how they're playing. Like they just like kind of flip it level 1.
Yeah.
Losing or winning matchup. I think that exactly the same thing happened game 3. I feel like when we were playing Team Liquid on stage, they had like kind of an early losing bot lane, but they were trying to get the push and they just screwed themselves over, like, and after that, I just felt like the game was so easy because they're kind of, in my opinion, a better FlyQuest. They definitely do understand how to play the game from behind, but I also do think they don't have that much good understanding because they're just so used to winning early. And once you have a lead early, I think as long as the other team doesn't make a mistake, every team should be able to close Team Liquid out.
Yeah, it's weird. Do you think they're playing the right way? Because Morgan's playing
the right way.
Yeah,
that guy's playing the right way. But top lane is so isolated these days. But
tell me about it.
I mean, what does there say? It's just isolated. It's pretty much 4-4. Like this series, I think you could take out top lane. I don't think it would change much, honestly. I mean, yeah, it's just the meta right now.
It just feels like junglers aren't allowed to spend time.
Yeah, if you spend any time,
it's just like you're gonna lose something. Bot like plates. There's always like plates to get. Like 1 second on the turret, and you get plates no matter what champ or whatever.
Just a crystallized thing.
And then Drake is really broken. So if someone goes top, we're like, oh, okay, nice.
Better be worth it. I mean, you guys went top today.
Yeah.
But you guys traded for it.
You have to when it's like kind of matchup with like Rise mid. So yeah, it's the meta.
But what were we talking about? Team Liquid.
Yeah.
I mean, top lane is playing well, but yeah, I mean, they just throw so much. I don't know. I think in game 3, Quid just decided he didn't want to get carried, and he's like, I want to make a play mid and try to kill this guy.
1v5. I saw the screenshot.
Yeah.
He's like in the middle of 5 people.
Like, I want to be part of this game and not just get carried playing Azir. And just So hopefully he keeps that up because that'll make it easy for us. So
what about your old boys on DSG? Because that team had like a real surge, and they were playing well even when Cryo wasn't here, which was a surprise. And I haven't heard of a team ever not putting scrim time in like the sub player, but fully believing that they would have Cryo at some point, so they gave him the scrim time. But like watching DSG play, what is your feeling on them? Only asking because everyone's pre-split expectation was 7th, 8th.
Yeah.
And it was changing. And then now we were like, maybe it's back to where it was.
I mean, I think they're pretty good, honestly. Like I think they're definitely in the middle of the pack, maybe like middle lower. But I think Call Me is good. I think their jungler is good too. I think Sujed individually is not bad, pretty good in my opinion too. But yeah, I don't know. Maybe like after they started winning, maybe the ego kind of got on them.
Ego already?
I don't know. Actually,
win a few games.
But like, I definitely think playing versus them, especially like going into the game, like our first stage games versus them.
Yeah.
I definitely thought even though we lose early, like they probably won't know how to play macro, but then they were playing pretty well as a team. So in that sense, I was actually pretty surprised. They're kind of the opposite of FlyQuests, where their laners might be a little weaker, but they have better understanding of the game.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So Vulcan, apparently, like hearing some of the C9, like I guess content pieces, you're poking fun and being like, "Oh, let's not pick DSG guys." Like,
Yeah.
so, what are your thoughts on the team?
I mean, at that point when we had to make the decision, we hadn't scrimmed DSG ever since they got their jungler in, because they were scrimming a little bit with Kizno, because they weren't exactly sure yet if they were going to get the visa in time. So we hadn't played them in a while. We didn't really know, and they looked good on stage from the games that we saw. And then the one argument that it was either Dom or Inero that brought it up, but we were saying that they make good side plays, and it's annoying to deal with, so we don't want to pick them.
Yeah.
And then, so we picked FlyQuests, and then like we scrimmed them, obviously, because we weren't playing them. We scrimmed them the following week.
Yeah.
And they couldn't play the game. Like it was not good for them.
Yeah.
We were really stomping them. And then obviously I need to like rub it in their face, my coaches, that like, nice guys, don't pick DSG. They make side plays. Careful with the side plays, guys. So that's about it. Yeah, but I also don't think they're that bad. I think they're a pretty good team, and they should also get better as time goes on. They have a couple rookies, so yeah, I think the league's pretty solid this year.
Okay. And I wanted to ask you, Huhi, on your team. I guess it's been brought up a few times already, but the idea of you once again playing the role of an in-game translator and like being able to get people on the same page. Specifically, I'm imagining Rahel, Hambak, and Darkwing's mid. A, how has that role been for you? But B, how has it kind of progressed ever since? Because you said on stage it was like 70-30.
I actually have a question. So like, when Golden Glue is watching the game backstage and he doesn't understand 70% of the comms, like what does he say in review, like after the game ends? Like,
Just you just kind of see the game,
Oh, yeah,
and this definitely on stage games, I definitely try to like communicate the English plans as well.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, definitely for me, it has been a challenge, especially when I'm so focused on like the comms.
Yeah.
And I feel like my individual play kind of gets a lot worse. So focused on always kind of looking at the map, I sometimes like miss where they are.
Yeah.
It even happened game 1 or game 2 when I was playing Rakan and Yunara just jumped on me and I actually kind of jumped.
Yeah.
It was just so stupid thinking back because I saw the ward over the dragon pit and I don't know why I walked there.
Yeah.
Stuff like that happens, and I feel like that has been my biggest challenge, where I have to keep my individual level like up as well. But yeah, I think as time goes on, I feel like my job will get easier and easier, because in the end, I feel like communication is kind of there to make everyone on the same page, and it's really needed in the beginning when teams are new, when we don't know each other that well. And right now, it's for me, it's way better to over communicate than communicate less. And as time goes on and people kind of learn like our play style, and because in game sometimes when we're so connected, we don't even have to say when we're going, and people know that like by the movements like we'll go. Like
True.
I feel like in the World's Finals, the Keria Faker moment, like Keria was saying how like he just saw Faker's movement that he canceled base, he knew that he's gonna go. Like those kind of things happens, like chemistry
they've been playing
wise.
there for like 3 years.
Yeah.
A little different.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
my base logic is like as time passes, like we will learn about each other's and body languages, and I will be needing to communicate less and less.
Yeah, Dhokla said, just mentioned it, but like, because I was on a team that had like full Danish team, but like we were like, okay, well, let's swap it to English because that was a choice, mostly for the ease of reviews. The reviews can't be easy, right? Like being able to get people on the same page, and like especially for Golden Glue, being able to be like, I can't talk about the comms ever unless if you brought up the feedback.
Yeah, for sure. I think lots of feedbacks are not based on comms, and it's just about how we view the game. So we try to like, I feel like, separate those two. We definitely have like pretty interesting dynamic, I will say. I feel like Impact is pretty vocal.
Yeah.
I always kind of make a joke how I feel like he's the dad of the team. I'm the mom, and
mom.
I don't know if it's appropriate, but like I feel like he's an Asian dad, and I'm the Asian mom, and I feel like he gives like a lot of harsh comments
Yeah.
with no bad intention, and I give a lot of it's okay, man, like, kind of a thing. Like, well, as long as we're learning, everything is okay, kind of a deal. But I definitely enjoy. I feel like everyone is kind of enjoying each other's company, because it is needed, in my opinion, to have someone like that is harsh and someone that can take care of like everyone's mental, because
Yeah.
it is a marathon. And yeah,
I guess it would make it difficult at first. Vulcan, you just came off of you've had a few Korean lineups in general. Like, what would you say would be the biggest difficulties? Would it be in game or out of game for you guys in the past?
I think out of game, I think it just makes everything like take more time because it doesn't matter how well you can say or like explain a thought or a point that you want it to happen in game. Maybe it needs to be translated.
Yeah.
So you kind of waste a lot of time, and that can be draining sometimes. But then, like, it doesn't really matter that we had a longer scrim day, as much as we need to be able to communicate better and efficiently on stage. So it's kind of more important during the game.
Yeah.
But yeah, like, if it can be hard. Yeah, it can be hard for everyone. I think even as like I think Thanatos, he's quite good at English now, but sometimes we're talking so fast because we're not doing the thing anymore where we're like slowing down and using basic words all the time. Maybe he's just like, I mean, I don't know for sure, but I feel like he tunes out sometimes.
Yeah.
Just because it is draining for someone to like constantly be like, that word, I don't know. So I need to like assume based on the context what it means, et cetera, et cetera. Like, it's exhausting, and you're also playing the game, trying to review, you're talking to people on top of it. So it can be quite draining. Yeah.
I think I remember seeing or you talking about when you were on FlyQuests with a double Korean lineup on that one. That is like, I talk too quickly for the people on the team. So is that something that you yourself have been like, long-term goal, talk slower in general so my teammates can understand me?
No, I don't care.
No,
like,
you don't
get
care?
get used to it.
Dhokla, have you ever had that within your career? You had Crown and I guess an Optic.
Yeah, I mean, I had Crown, Arrow. The Arrow's English was decent.
Yeah.
I had a lot of Koreans in my course of my career, but yeah, I mean, yeah, talk a bit slower, use simple words. They typically understand that when they're just learning like the league terminology. It's like the first words that they know. So yeah, to me it doesn't really matter. Obviously, but in review it's a bit difficult to get your point across and have them understand it. But that's just part of it's a trade-off of getting a Korean versus communication. So yeah, you just gotta deal with it.
A question that I had, and we'll round back to the playoffs themselves, but it was a discussion within the community that I'm interested in. It's kind of just been like voice comms in like solo queue, and I wondered how you guys viewed it, because in almost every other competitive game, it's something that has been there, like Dota has voice comms. And you guys had the ability to play through Champions Queue and have that experience. I guess I'll go to you, Vulcan, and thoughts on how it would impact like your view of solo queue. I don't know if you've thought about it much.
I mean, a little bit over the years, but I think it's very good for the game because I play Counter-Strike now and then, and it's obviously very nice to be able to communicate easily to people. So I think it's a huge bonus. It's going to obviously take some getting used to. It's a shame that we're 16 years into the game and it's coming in now when I think it could have been put inside the game a long time ago. But I think it's good. I just don't know if I will personally turn it on when I'm like coming off of a scrim day. I don't know if I have it in me to like go communicate to randoms.
Yeah.
And, like, it's just going to be very different than what I'm used to. So I don't know if I'll care about it during the season, but it'll be cool for when I have nothing to do but play solo queue during the off season or whatever. I think it'll be nice to be able to have voice comms and fully focus on solo queue when there's nothing else happening and I have full energy on it. I think it's nice. But as a pro, I don't know if I'll like, for the couple games that I play at night after scrims, I don't know if I want to not care that much, but I don't want to put that much energy into it maybe.
Yeah.
I mean, solo queue, it's just gonna be different. Because I mean, first of all, I don't know how antisocial everyone's gonna be. Because this game, everyone's been just catered towards like pinging only and typing in all chat. So
deafening.
Just that barrier itself is gonna be interesting to see. But I mean, for sure, I think the biggest thing is like I don't know if it's in champ select or like once you're in game, because then it
Oh.
might determine like a lot of champ picks, and then I think that one might be a big deal because everyone's like kind of gonna play more meta, and I hope that doesn't happen where people just lose their individual like champs that they are good at just to conform to like, oh, a pro's in my game. Oh, well, he's probably gonna want me to pick meta or something. I don't know. I'm just maybe it happens. So but yeah, I mean, solo queue's always just been solo queue. I mean, it'd be more impactful for like flex queue or something. Like if but obviously that's like completely dead. But it'd be fun if flex queue was like a thing, and then like a 5v5 thing happened. But yeah.
About the voice comms,
Yeah.
I don't know. I honestly don't know what kind of effect it will have or whether I'm gonna use or not. I feel like yeah, talking to newer people, especially when, for example, like I'm dealing with Rahal a lot, and I don't know if he will be willing to do that
Oh, of
kind
course
of
not.
thing,
Actually,
uh, especially like when it comes to like in-game decisions. Like I don't know if like I'll be able to like communicate that well. Like I don't want to argue in game,
yeah.
you know. I feel like that's the most important thing. Like when you're playing a team game, it's best to not argue it when you're playing the game. But you know, I feel
It's
like
gonna lead to some good content, though. I will
yeah,
say
for
it's gonna
sure.
be pretty funny, though. So I'm
Yeah.
excited about that. And I feel like I do play solo queue a lot, so it tends to be like a really antisocial if you got nothing else going on. So in that sense, it's a bit better, just to see like gauge the temperature of everyone else in the game. So I think it's a net improvement. I think yeah, pretty much every game has a social aspect to it besides League. It's like, so you can't ping anymore. You can't.
I mean, it used to be a lot more social, but I feel like
Yeah,
a lot
they
of
just
changes were
Yeah,
just
I mean,
forcing,
but it's like
forcing
intentional.
people to
Yeah,
not
yeah. So
be
now this is
social, yeah.
like now it's gonna bring it back a bit. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Do
it's
you think
good.
it'll change? Because I remember, I know Nemesis has made this point, but do you think it'll change the game completely? Like what you pick? Like for a good example is like people are just playing the Katarina one trick that is permanently looking to roam, the Bard roam that might come. That's probably going to be better communicated, maybe more slower gameplay. Do you think that's a fear?
Oh wait,
No,
actually,
I
in
mean, this
that
is assuming
sense,
like best case scenario, like everyone's
Yeah.
opting in like, at all times. I don't think that's gonna happen. But maybe it has some impact. But I still think it's still gonna be roughly the same.
Mhm.
Yeah, I don't think it's gonna be that crazy of an impact. Maybe at like the very high elo game where like
Yeah.
full
That's
pro
what-
lobby,
that's what I was
but like
thinking
I
also.
really don't think it's gonna make too much of a difference.
I feel like for high elo maybe, but I feel like it's such a nice change for even people at lower elos to actually like kind of experienced how the game is played for pros. Like when we go on stage, we have communication. When they go in solo queue, they don't.
Yeah.
And I feel like the game is kind of meant to be played with high level of communication.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And with all the changes that Riot has made, they were kind of limiting that. And like since like 5 years ago, I always get my pings muted in solo queue. When I try to ping a lot of information, I
Yeah.
get muted and I get so annoyed.
Yeah.
Like I'm trying to relay information that is like, in my opinion, very important in the moment. And the game says like, you use pings too many times. Please wait a little bit. And then I'm like, he's gonna be there, careful. And I do it again, and it like extends the moment, like the amount of time that I'm muted.
Yeah, it's
So
you know, a little
the whole thing
timeout.
is very annoying. But I think it's gonna be so nice for people who get into the game to have voice comms. And toxicity is like the other side of the argument. But I think you can just mute and go back to how I was already.
Mhm.
I feel like the mute function is OP, so I think
That's
it's
the
just
thing.
good.
Because it's like, for me, there'll be days where I'm like muting or communicating. I don't know. It depends on the moment. Like you kind of said, if you have a long day. I wonder how much of a disadvantage in like a actual strategic game in comparison to FPS of like you having maybe two teammates or three teammates that are communicating versus the enemy team that's maybe having like 4 or 5. That could be a pretty big like difference maker. Maybe it doesn't matter. I don't know.
Dude, actually, one thing I wonder is if you can rally people to FF faster now. It's like, yo, man, this one's looking real rough. I mean, it might be my bad. Like, hey, I don't
fault,
think this
guys.
one's
Let's go
carryable, guys.
next.
Let's go next. Yeah, let's all save us some time because games get hostaged quite a bit. So,
right now.
honestly, I didn't think about that angle. Maybe I'll be a good persuader now.
We got a rallier. All right, that's good. Let's talk about what could be coming up ahead. First, I'll look to you because now you're in the position of being in the finals. You are already guaranteed to go to Brazil. I mean, that's always going to be the case. But like being in that position now in the finals, 12-1, is there anything that you feel like you guys need to work on, or any personal satisfaction of how last couple of years have been?
I mean, Our practice hasn't been that intense, so we just need to lock in there. I think we need to have solid practice so that we go into the weekend feeling confident. And I always kind of think that the team who survives lower bracket has an advantage in the finals. I think the schedule works in the way that LYON or TL will play 3 games back to back, right? If whoever
if
wins.
we win,
Yeah.
yeah.
So I think that team who like manages to do that has the advantage of like being warm.
Yeah.
So I think, yeah, I mean, we just need to be on top of our game. We'll obviously have the advantage of looking at their drafts and stuff like that. So we'll take a good look at what's happening and
Do they
prepare.
play on side or not?
yeah,
We have some
the side
plays
plays.
going or not.
Thankfully, DSG's out, so we're safe on the
Yeah.
side plays. For now.
Huhi, now you get the opportunity to see Team Liquid and LYON
Mhm.
fist fight.
Yeah.
Who do you think is the who's coming out of it? And don't look away from Dhokla. But also, what's something that you feel like you need to, as a team, improve on to be ready for that matchup?
I think so. First, I think out of TL and LYON, I feel like they're both of their mental are, in my opinion, not that great.
Mhm.
So I feel like whoever wins the first game might have like the momentum and kind of win over.
Mhm.
I definitely do think that both teams are good. So I feel like it's gonna be a fun match to watch.
Yeah.
Maybe like for now, I want to give like Team Liquid more of a chance, compared to LYON. But I wouldn't be surprised if LYON will beat TL either. And I think what we have to improve on is basically just like kind of an individual play. I feel like today, me and Rahal didn't play that well in ball laning phase. I feel like C9 just smashed us all 3 games. Whether like the jungler is pathing away or not, I feel like we just kind of played really poorly. And also in team fights, I feel like game 1 and 2, I feel like we definitely had a fair chance, but we just kind of under the stress or like under the pressure, we just struggled and just got wiped in like every 3rd dragon fights and stuff like that. So that's something that we're definitely going to try to work on and bring it back.
So Dhokla, I hear that it's going to be 3 straight wins. Not only do you have to go up against LYON or Team Liquid, then Sentinels, then the finals. It's just another lower bracket run, maybe.
Yeah.
That's another thing that you have to go through.
But that's you guys make it sound like it's like a big deal. It's not really a big deal. You're just playing league, and that's it. So I feel like it's actually fun, and this is probably what I would want to have happen anyways. It's just fun. So personally, I look forward to it. I've been in lower bracket a few times, and I think Gauntlet was pretty similar last year too. And honestly, actually, I think whoever won the series between us in that game 5 would probably have the same type of run. You guys would have been to the finals and would have been at Worlds. So
Yeah.
I feel like the same situation might be happening here. Where it's like whoever wins between us and TL is gonna have the same
I don't think so. Not
type
this
of
time.
thing. Well, I mean, we lost to FlyQuests. I mean, the you guys or FlyQuests won in the finals, but I feel like we're gonna win the rest of the way,
Right,
and then the
okay.
finals will be close. Yeah.
So what do you think about that matchup? Because that one's going to be the one that everyone's looking
Yeah, I mean, I think Morgan's really good, and personally, I'm just looking at like a 1v1 because top is so isolated.
Yeah.
But I have confidence in the rest of my team. But 1v1, I mean, yeah, he's very good individually. Both him and Thanatos. Actually, I'm facing 3 Koreans. It's him, Impact, and Thanatos. So I got my work cut out for me. Yeah.
A flashback to Worlds, I guess. That's good to see. I wanted to kind of wrap the episode up with kind of some level of nostalgia. You guys are former teammates, Huhi and Dhokla.
Mhm.
Is there any fun stories you could tell us? It's been a while now. Surely there's
Fun
something you
stories.
Fun stories.
can, even if it's not so fun stories, even if it's trial and tribulation.
And one trip we had was fun.
Oh, the one trip, yeah.
Yeah.
We went to a vacation together, but that's just me and Nishim.
Oh, that's
Yeah, that was
That's
not-
cute.
That is cute. Where
No,
are we
other
going?
people too, not just me and him.
Other people too. Well, on the team, it was just me and him.
Yeah. So that was nice.
Some fun stories. I mean, I don't know.
There was one fun story,
Yeah,
but
there-
I
there
can't
is
get
one
into
fun
it.
You can't get
story.
into it?
I really can't get into it.
I have
Different
one
type
fun
of
story
podcast,
too.
maybe, or what?
I really can't get into it. But there was one funny moment.
But definitely like energy. I think joining energy, I will say, was the most stressful year in my career.
Yeah?
I think it was my first time ever really thinking, oh, like maybe this is it. I want to retire. You know.
Yeah.
Damn.
Because
that bad?
yeah, because for me, I think throughout my career, I've always enjoyed what I did and
Yeah.
kind of loved what I was doing, and I knew how privileged it was.
Yeah.
So I was just making sure I was enjoying every moment. But yeah, on energy, it was really stressful.
Yeah,
And
first one, last one in, first one out.
yeah, I'm like, wow.
Me and Vic always clowning you
this
on
is that year was special to me.
And you don't have to get into it if you don't want to, but like for me, it's like before you joined the team, it was like, oh, we argued a lot, but a lot of it was kind of seen as a positive. You guys in energy, right? Like the fact that you guys had a very vocal, open system within that team. So
someone argued a lot.
Yeah, I mean, it feels like it's a therapy session if I like speak too
Yeah,
much, you
yeah.
know, because I'm like kind of getting to my traumas.
Yeah.
But
on.
like, I wouldn't say like names, but
yeah,
it will be like stories like on my first day joining the team. I don't know if you remember, but on my first day joining the team and the first day of screaming, we had to cancel scrims,
Oh.
kind of
Was
thing.
that first day? I think.
Yeah, it was literally my first day. I was
Oh,
like
yeah.
there first because some people are good, and
Yeah.
then
Someone.
someone
Had
and someone are
disagreements.
good, and then the scrim was just cancelled. I'm like, wow, like
Yeah.
this is my first day, guys. Like,
Nice
what
introduction,
are you
yeah.
doing?
Let's keep it
And,
easy,
yeah.
guys.
I mean, it was pretty funny because joining the team, I think FBI was my former teammates.
Yeah.
So he kind of gave me a lot of like heads up, of like stuff like, because he know how I am as a person. He was kind of hoping that I can kind of make everyone
Yeah.
become like a friend
glue
or
guy,
like
yeah.
that kind of person. But yeah, I think I had my struggles there too. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, damn. Okay, I was going for reminiscent.
Yeah.
Different
No, yeah.
direction.
If I was
fun
speaking
in
more,
another way.
yeah.
And that was funny looking back at it.
Yeah. I mean, now it's funny, right? But
no,
like,
I thought it
back
was funny
then-
in the moment because.
Oh, you thought you were, I was shocked. I was shocked. But
Oh, welcome to the team.
yeah.
Oh my God. Yeah, you know, you could join in this. Do you have any awkward like joining in a team? You're like, because I guess you've been on a few teams
Mhm.
already, of course,
Mhm.
throughout the LCS. Any memories of like joining the team and just having a culture shock, a little bit of how things are done?
Maybe EG initially, because I think, I mean, I don't know how, it's kind of well known at this point, but Inspire is a very specific way of giving feedback.
Yeah.
And it's like kind of, because he's European and it's like a different culture over there. And I came from C9 where we obviously gave feedback to each other in a pretty straight way, but that was like next level.
Yeah.
So that was a pretty big culture shock. But you get used to it. And yeah, I think that's maybe the one thing I can think about is going to EG. Impact is also kind of like that. I guess you mentioned it with the Asian dad thing, but we had Impact and Inspired who were like, if Jojo is making a mistake, he would know about it.
Yeah.
And he would know exactly how bad it is and like why he should never do it again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that was a big difference.
Asian dad and Polish dad did it help. Did it help a lot in terms of getting through problems, or did it?
It worked. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'd
you
say it
guys
helped.
won, yeah.
Yeah, there it
Yeah.
is. That's a dub. I'm sure it's helping. The Polish dad in the house. Maybe don't. Maybe not in that those
No, it
words.
It is.
Perfect. I mean, that's good. That pretty much wraps it up for all of us. Thank you guys for joining me.
Thank you.
That was a great episode. And like, comment, subscribe. Also, shout out to all you guys who are just like listeners on Spotify, iTunes, all that. And take it easy.
See ya.